YouTube, what's up? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com, and if you're struggling on defense in Madden 22, then this is the video for you because I'm about to break down a super glitchy blitz in defense that's going to allow you to not only stop the run, but also stop the pass with good coverage, very fast pressure, and the best thing is this defense is super easy to set up, and you don't need anything special. You don't need abilities. You don't need a really good team. Anybody can use this in any game mode. So I'm going to be looking at the nickel 2-4-5 double A gap, and we're going to be looking at this cover one hole. This defense, as far as your subs go, the most important things I would say is you do want some speed in your secondary. You're going to be using a safety. You're going to have auto flip on. So depending upon the way the formation is offensively, you might be using either safety. So I'd make sure both safeties you're comfortable using. You want to make sure that your two edge rushers, because they will be getting a lot of pressure, are fast and are good rushers. You see, obviously, with the Steelers, Watt and Ingram will do the trick. Now, your D tackles, they're more so for stopping the run. Don't worry about them too much. Now, your linebackers here, they're going to be blitzing a lot. This is a formation where you can, if you want to, you could put some safeties in the game if your linebackers aren't very good, so keep that in mind. So like I said, as far as my coaching adjustments go, auto flip is going to be on. That's about it. Now the play again is the cover one hole. You can find this in some different defensive books throughout the game. In this video I'm using the Baltimore Ravens playbook. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can get pressure against many different offensive formations. I'll go against some bunch, the meta. Then I'll do some more stuff like spread. But I'm going to show you guys against, if they don't block anybody, if they block their running back, and also if they do tight end delayed fade. So kind of just go over a little bit of everything that the offense could throw at you. So before we get into the video, I do want to remind you guys, especially if you're new to the channel, that I do free Madden 22 tips, gameplays, and news on a daily basis here. So if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop us a like, and also comment on the video. All that stuff does help me out a lot. And if we can get to 250 likes on this video, I will do another free tip from the nickel 2-4-5 double A gap. Another setup that you can use to mix in with this setup I'm about to show you guys here for a nice little defensive scheme that you guys can use for great success. So let's get into the way to set this up. So first of all, I like to pinch my defense. To do that, I just hit R1 on R1 on PlayStation or RB on Xbox, and then down on the left analog stick. Now, after this, we're going to shade our coverage over the top. That's just going to make sure we don't get beat deep. Now, you do want some, like I said, speed in the secondary for this. You don't need abilities. However, if you could use abilities, you might want to use a deep route KO or an acrobat. Acrobat is going to be effective no matter what defense you use. I love Acrobat this year, but if you're going to stick to a lot of coverage like this, deep route KO is nice because if they try to beat you on some, like the more meta routes against man, deep post for instance, streaks, whatever, even if they get a step or two separation, you'll knock it out most of the time. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to blitz all of our linebackers down. To do that, I hit to the right on the D-pad and then down on the right analog stick. You see that blitzes them all. It's just not sometimes in practice mode it doesn't show it, but trust me, they're blitzing. It's just a little glitch in the game with the play art. It's so stupid, but trust me, they're blitzing. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to take the safety that's in the deep zone, and you're basically, you see they're blitzing now? There we go. And we stand over the center and put them on a blitz angle. So my responsibility on this blitz with my user is the running back if he goes out of the backfield. If he goes out of the backfield, I'm immediately going to go guard him. Now, if they block him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gauge with the center, or if they block anybody really, I'm going to gauge with the center, and I'll explain all this in the video breakdown, just wait a second. And then once I do that, I'm going to drop back, and if the running back's in the backfield, I'm going to take the first read, whether it's over the middle or maybe to the sideline of the corner route. If he goes out, I'm going to guard him. So before we take a look at how this actually works, some more examples of different setups the offense can do, different blocking schemes to show you how to beat it, I do want to remind you guys, if you're looking to get better at Madden 22, check out sportsgamers.com. That's where I post all my premium Madden 22 tips and ebooks. I have offensive and defensive schemes, ebooks, weekly tips in the Madden Vault where we do 4 to 6 tips every week, and I have content available for both current and next gen. So, first, offensively, we're not going to block anybody, and if you do see that, immediately once the ball snapped, pretty much literally immediately, you just go guard the running back. Now, that's going to be very key. You don't want the running back to be able to you don't want them to just throw to the running back, basically. Because if someone sees a heavy blitz like this, chances are that their first read is probably going to be the running back. So if you see the running back head out, just dip out, just like I did there, and try to undercut the route. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've done that exact thing, and I've gotten a pick six. And you guys can see here, I essentially get 3 people free. Now, you're generally supposed to just get the edge rushers free, but as you guys can see here, we also got our D lineman. He kind of came up the middle. He kind of had a little disengage. That sometimes does happen, but honestly, you more so should be able to count on the edge pressure. But we'll definitely not going to complain with our D lineman coming up the middle either, that's for sure. We love to see that. And I mean, that does happen sometimes. So this is a very effective and easy to set up blitz that, as you guys can see, screams. They're not going to have much time. All they're going to really have time for is their first read. And if we take that away, they're going to be in big trouble. So they might try to block this. You guys know that, like a good player, he's not just going to let you keep screaming at him with pressure. They're going to try to block. So they might block their running back. So same thing we're going to do. We're going to pinch the defense. We're going to blitz our linebackers down. We're going to shade over the top so we don't get beat deep. And to shade over the top, if you guys don't know, you hit your coverage audible, which is on PlayStation, triangle, Xbox Y. Then over the top, up. And then you hit, your linebacker audible to blitz all your linebackers. You come down the box with your user. You put your user on a blitz angle. We're not actually blitzing him. We just have him on a blitz angle to confuse the offense. So, if they do end up blocking the running back, I'm just going to hit that center for a split second, and then I'm taking that first read away, whether it's over in the middle of like a slant or a post, maybe it's to the sideline with a flat, or maybe a corner out even. I don't know, but I just hit the center, boom, I touch him for a split second. You see how we touch 71? That allows us to get edge and gap pressure. Now, once I see that that's happened, I just pull off, so just split second, and I'm back in coverage here. I took the guy over the middle, but really I should have went to guard the corner route because that guy over the middle, he wasn't going to get open anyways. So, you kind of got to be aware when you're running a defense like this, what routes can beat your man coverage and what is probably going to be the first or the hot read, because really that's all they'll have time to do. Now, you guys know that, blitzes this year, it's a lot of blitzes are different. Sometimes you can block the running back to stop them. The delay fades are really good, especially against the people who try to abuse contain, the little contain glitches. So someone might try to hit you with a delay fade. And the thing is, that's not going to stop this blitz. We do the same thing, pinch the defense, blitz our linebackers, shade over the top, we always control the safety that's in the deep zone, bring him down over the center, put him on a blitz angle. So same thing with the delay fade. If you see that they're on a delay fade, or the tight end's on a delay fade, I should say, go ahead, hit that center, then take away. If the running back goes out, take him away. If he doesn't, and they max protected, take the first read away. Another thing you can do with this defense if you want, pass commit. Guess pass up on the right analog stick. That is not, needed, but it definitely can help. As you guys can see, the tight end delay fade gets ran right by that edge rusher, and we're in there for the sack. And, that's really, if you guys zoom in over here, you can see the delay fade gets kind of confused, you could say. And, again, quick sack before the offense can really make a read. All you need to do is take away the first read, guys. It is so easy to do with a defense like this because when the pressure is fast, most players, they panic. So they're not going to be able to make that quick read. If you take away probably the first and only read, they're going to be dead. So I did say this defense does stop the run, and I will tell you guys that, if someone's coming out in, I form under center, obviously I'm not running this. But if someone just wants to run shotgun runs like bases and inside zones from actual shotgun formations, I have no problem running this defense. As you guys can see here, this is going to be against the gun bunch HB base. And with everybody up on the line of scrimmage like this, it's really hard for them to consistently get any yards running the ball. I'm going to switch to an inside zone here. You guys are going to see I'm doing the same defense, the same setup, the same everything. And you're going to notice that they're not going to be able to run the ball on this. Again, I've blitzed my linebackers and my safety. Sometimes it just doesn't show your adjustments in practice mode. It's a glitch in the game. And you guys can see against inside zone, you can, with your user, see how I shot the gap? I just missed the tackle. That was completely on me. But most of the time against inside zones, you can just come in untouched and make the tackle yourself. I should have just probably clicked off. But that's why inside zone doesn't work too well against it. And even, like, though I missed a tackle, I still had so many people around that he only got a few yards. Now, that was bad by me, though. I definitely should have made the tackle. That was completely my own fault. But as you guys can see, this is not some easy defense to run the ball on. Granted, like I said, if they're in I form, running heavy under-center run formations, obviously we're not running this defense. This defense is more for people who pass the ball, mostly from shotgun. So cover one hole, and I do want to show it against spread really fast, just because, again, a lot of people will ask me to show the defenses against different formations. So we went against the meta bunch. Well, let's show it against spread, just to show you. So again, I'm going to pinch my defense. I'm going to go ahead and shade over the top, blitz my linebackers, bring this guy down here in the box, blitz them. So here, it's the same thing basically. If the running back goes out on route, that's our job. We shade over the top so we know we don't get beat deep as long as we got some decent corners. Like, I wouldn't use this if my corners were all slow as molasses, obviously. But, that's not that hard to have decent DBs. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. But same thing, like, my job is the running back. So, if the running back goes out, I go guard him. They're going to get quick pressure in their face. A lot of times what happens when the running back goes out, that's why you always got to jump him, is they throw it right to you for a pick six. Okay? So that's why we do that. And if they don't, they're going to eat a sack, because if they look to the running back, see you check him, so they have to hold on the ball, nothing else is going to be open fast enough. It's going to be a sack. Maybe a sack fumble. This is definitely a high risk, high reward type of defense, because you'll get a lot of sacks, a lot of turnovers, a lot of big plays for the defense, but here and there, maybe the offense can get a big play too, because everyone's man up. So if they have something quick that just gets open against the man defender, they might get a big play. That's why I said your secondary is the most important part of this defense, because if all you got to do is hold up for a second or two, really the first read, and if they don't have time past that, they're going to get sacked or they're going to force something into a pick. So don't get discouraged if you do give up a play here and there. It happens, but this defense is sure to get you guys a lot of sacks and turnovers. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to like it. Remember, 250 likes, and I drop another setup from the nickel 245 AA gap to go along with this one. Till next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.